I got to get the screen. Yes, today's Thursday. That's why on the top of the paper, what number do you have on the top of your paper? 4.2.4. Okay. So can tell me what my numbers mean. 4 6 weeks.
Second week.
And the fourth day. Yep. Come get your candy, Jasmine. Logan, you were right there with her too. Come on, but you gotta quit throwing a fit.
Stop being
Okay. So this very first one right here.
Logan, you want to do this?
Okay. So it says, write the algebraic expression represented by the algebra tiles. Okay. So let's write it out first with what we see here. So what do we see here?
X to the power x squared. Yeah.
So 1x squared. Okay.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Or are they positive or are they negative?
Negative.
They're negative, so it should be negative 2.
It always scares me when you do that.
Okay.
And then negative 2x.
Negative 2x.
And then negative 2 squared.
A negative x squared.
And then plus x.
Okay. Plus x plus 1. I ran out of room.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can simplify this so we wouldn't have as much to write?
Write it on the bottom.
Okay, so we can write it underneath. Okay, so let's see. X squared minus.
You take too much space.
Minus 2 minus 2x minus x squared plus x plus 1.
See, that's way better. Way better.
Okay, so I'll do that. But do I have any 0 pairs in this?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
can I simplify? What can I mark off because there's 0
Okay,
pairs?
well, you can take that negative 2 and turn it into a negative 1 by adding the 1 to the negative 1.
Okay, well, hang on. So let's start with this big box, Aaron. Do we have a
Yes.
negative of it that will cancel?
Yes.
Yes, so let's mark through those. Okay, because we don't really need to write those on there because they cancel. Right, so we can mark through those. They've canceled each other out because one's positive, one's negative, and it makes a 0 pair, right? Okay, then we've got 2 negative 1s right here. Are there any positive 1s anywhere that would cancel with it?
Yes, on the far side.
Over here on the far side. So, okay, we could mark this out, but can we mark this negative 2 out? Did we get rid of all of it?
No, you be left with negative 1.
So this is actually a negative 1 right there. So you can mark through, but you got to rewrite that there's a negative 1 there. Okay, what about my x's? Do I have any positive and negative x's? I can
Yes.
cancel.
Yes.
How many?
You can only cancel out 1 negative x.
1 negative x?
Yes, and that also cancels positive.
Okay, so it cancels this one, but it still leaves us a negative x right there. Right? So here is my simplified answer. So my actual answer for this problem is negative 1 minus x. Okay? We prefer to write our x's first, though, right? So we're going to rearrange it where it's negative x minus 1. And all I did was put my x term first. I counted my x tiles first before I count my 1's tiles. So before we do this one together, I want you to go through and mark out any 0 pairs. So figure out what 0 pairs would be and mark them out. Come on, guys. Get your 0 pairs marked out.
Oh man, you got a 0 period.
There's a positive.
And this is where I go
One,
live.
there's positive face.
I hate 0 periods.
Or a negative.
Would you like to see all? Would you like to see that big old long thing, or would you like to see it simplified like this? Okay.
Wait.
Zachary.
Yeah.
I said, would you rather have the big old long equation to have to write down, or would you rather have a simplified version?
Simplified.
Okay, so wouldn't it benefit you to be able to match up which ones can cancel each other out. Yeah, right?
Oh, so you like zero them out and then like.
So
write
you
whatever
cancel a dark one, which is negative, right, with a white one, which is a positive. Remember our 0 pair tiles? And when we matched them up, you can mark them out like I did, okay? Or you can draw lines between them. So this negative x right here, is there a positive one that we could cancel out with it?
Yes.
Appreciate you.
So for this one, I'm going to connect it over here to this one. So I know those canceled, okay? You can mark them off if that's what you want to do too, okay?
I got a
So
question.
now about,
Wait. Oh, is this how it's supposed to be? I just asked this whole.
well, let's see. You
Oh,
might
that
have, you
one.
might have been, you got ahead of us. So let's
I
see.
put negative 1x plus 3.
Okay, well that's what that represented, right? But we canceled it out here. Do we have any ones here that can cancel? Are there any?
Yes, it's
Yes.
2. You can knock
So
out
we
2.
got 1,
Ah, I
2
put
of them
3.
that cancels, right? Okay.
I put
Do we
1.
have a?
Yes, we got the big square right there.
Okay, so we got a dark big square and a light big square that cancel.
And then that.
So what am I left with?
Negative x plus 1.
Okay.
Oh, I had 3.
This
I
one
put
that's
it
not
wrong.
canceled and this one that's not canceled. Right? So we've got a negative x plus 1 for our final answer after we canceled everything. Is everybody following along how we're canceling? You can mark them out. You can show your work however you see. I was showing 2 different ways you could show. Okay? The easiest thing is to maybe redraw them, but there's not enough room on your notes, right, to redraw them next to each other so you can see that they've canceled each other out. So now here at the bottom are the next 2 problems. It wants us to use algebra tiles to represent the expressions given. Okay? So you don't have a lot of room there, so don't make your squares too big, but let's group them as we draw them. Okay, let's group them as we draw them. So x squared, we've got how many big boxes are we going to have here?
2.
2.
Sipping on.
Okay. Do I have any more x squared boxes that I need to draw?
No, but there's 4 negative x squared.
So I need to draw 4 negative. So I still need big squares, right? They're just going to be negative versions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are big negative squares. Okay. So see how I'm grouping them together so I can easily cancel them? Those are my big boxes. I did these ones that are positive, and I did these that are negative. So now what other shape do I need?
Rectangles because 3 positive rectangles and then 5 negative rectangles.
Okay, so I need 3 positive rectangles and 3
No, 5.
5 negative rectangles. Right? These are my plus ones. Okay, so now what will cancel?
The
This big one and that big one, right?
Yes, and then that one.
Then I've got 3 positives here that can cancel 3 negatives. So see, when we group them together, they're easier to see which ones cancel, right? Are they easier to group for canceling that way? So what am I left with that didn't cancel out?
Negative 2x and negative 2x squared and then negative 2x.
Right? Yeah. So now you see if you can do this one.
So the bigger one would always go first?
Yes.
Well, obviously. Yeah.
You always put, so work with your tiles, biggest tile to smallest tile. Yes. Boys, come on. Quit talking amongst yourself. Get these drawn. Okay. Draw your big tiles first, then your rectangles, then your little ones. Try to group them so it makes it easier to. Okay, but we're on this one now that you're doing by yourself.
Oh. Oh my gosh, it's a little wet. I'll get some water when I get done with the question.
When we finish our notes, you can. So, do I have any terms that would be represented by a big square, Zachary? Nations. Okay. Only been gone 2 days. You were here the first day and you got it. So let's see. Are there any things here that would be represented by a big square?
4x. Right there.
Okay. So what shape does the X? Hang on, guys. Stop. What shape does the X use?
Rectangle.
The rectangle, right? Okay. So those are going to be rectangles.
Yeah.
So this one right here, the X squared, is going to use the big square tiles. So how many big squares am I going to need to draw? Looking at this, Zachary.
Yeah, I can see it.
I know. I'm saying how many big squares do I need? 3. There you go. See? Okay. So 3 big ones. Are they all positive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any more big squares that I need to draw? Nope. So are we going to have any 0 pairs for that one then?
Yes.
No.
No, if you don't have any with the opposite sign, you wouldn't, right? Okay, so what about the rectangle ones?
You're gonna have
Peyton, how many, or which ones do I use to make a rectangle? What?
all the X's.
All the X's.
You're gonna have 5 negative rectangles and then 2 positive.
So the 5 negatives first, right? So I'll do them red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how many positives?
2.
2 positives. Okay. My negative kind of looks like it's dividing them in half. It's not. Okay. And then, so that took care of this term, right? And these. What's left? Jackson, what's left for us to draw?
You gotta put the negatives
Negative what?
on the boxes.
Okay, so little negative boxes. Oops. Oh, yeah. So I should use a red, right? So do I have any 0 pairs in all of that?
Yes. The 2 negative X's and the 2 positive X's.
Okay. 2 negative X's cancel with 2 positive X's. So what am I left with to simplify this?
Um, 3 X squared minus 3X minus 3.
There you go. Come get you something, Peyton. You did a lot of that problem on your own there.
I can't see it.
Or green.
That's my box. Did you get it? Okay, so this one says we're actually drawing models to represent the simplified form. So we're going to cancel the ones that can cancel and only draw whatever's left over. So do y'all see anything that's going to cancel?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
These two cancel each other?
The positive and negative.
The positive, so this one and this one cancel each other?
Yes.
Okay. So is that the only thing? So I would need to redraw this. So I got one big one, 3 negative rectangles, and 1 positive square. Okay. Y'all can shade yours in like they're doing there. I'm not going to put negative signs because they look like I'm cutting boxes in half. So now what would my simplified equation be?
X squared negative minus 3x plus 1.
Do you agree with Aaron? Okay. So see if y'all can do those 3 real quick on the next 3 on your own really quick.
Wait, can you get back to the other one?
So when you get these 3 done on your own,
You have to simplify it and figure it out.
Dude, I know what I'm doing. I got it.
Basically, they did. When you mark the things out, that's what you were doing.
Wait, we simplify these? I thought simplify was like you only use that in fractions.
No.
nope. Simplifying in algebra is getting it down to the simplest form, no matter what it
It's
is.
like adding the x's together and then.
So it's like science, but mathematical.
I mean, yeah, kind of, in a way.
Why am I feeling math in my passing science? Like, it have to be like this, or just like this?
They want it simplified, so then they want them all together.
What is this?
Hey, they don't have all your, that.
So
They
that
don't have
means
all of your grades in yet. That's
I'm
why.
only failing this class by 10 points.
Anybody
I'm
else?
telling every class they don't have all my grades.
I know what y'all are doing.
so it's
Dude, so
Do we
once you
switch
get all
out?
my grades in, I'm gonna be passing this class.
Yes.
I don't know. You haven't been here for 2 days, so you've got makeup work for those 2 days to get done.
Where's the makeup? Wait, there's no.
Yes.
Give me a second. Let me finish
Well, I'm not
this.
gonna be able to turn it in though. I'm not gonna be able to turn it in tomorrow.
Why not?
No, I'm not gonna be here for you now.
For 3 months, not going to be here.
3 or 2.
So, are you going to be virtual? Okay.
I'm going to.
My brain hurts.
Yeah, looking at this makes me want to cry.
Yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna, unless I do it tonight and then give it to
Yeah,
my whole.
You can do that. You can. Do you have internet access? Because you can do all of it on Go Formative and turn it in that way. But either way would work.
You going to college?
He watched it. That boy watched.
Guys, fun is easy.
Somebody come and say, you going right with me?
I was finishing this for the
You're gonna add this one.
video on here because they can't see the board up there.